Step into a world where secrets hide behind velvet curtains and fortunes change with a glance. The BBC has a gift for turning Victorian classics into television that seizes you from the start. But in a sea of adaptations, which ones capture the stormy passion, the intrigue, and the struggles that defined an era? Which series are the true crown jewels of Victorian drama? Prepare to revisit foggy moors and candlelit parlors, because these 11 masterpieces prove the classics are never truly gone. Jane Eyre, 2006. There's a reason Charlotte Bronte's Gothic romance refuses to fade. BBC's 2006 version pulls you straight into the wild winds of Thornfield Hall, where young Jane faces more than just a mysterious employer. Ruth Wilson's Jane is fierce, vulnerable, and utterly magnetic, while Toby Stephens' Rochester burns with inner torment. Every shadowy corridor and candlelit stair is charged with secrets, and the chemistry crackles between the leads without ever feeling forced. What sets this adaptation apart? It's the way director Susanna White blends suspense and yearning, letting the audience feel every ounce of Jane's battle for independence and dignity. As storms lash the Yorkshire countryside, Jane finds her voice and defies every expectation, making this not just a love story, but a rallying cry for anyone who's ever fought to be seen. By the time the credits roll, you're left wondering, did anyone ever love and suffer quite like Jane Eyre? Blee House, 2005. Dickens called it his best story, and the BBC's Blee House proves him right. This isn't just a period drama, it's a full-blown legal thriller, spinning Dickens's labyrinthine novel into a binge-worthy serial before the word even existed. Gillian Anderson commands the screen as the doomed Lady Dedlock, while Charles Dance delivers menace and gravitas as Mr. Tulkinghorn. Every character is pulled into the web of the endless court case of Jarndyce and Jarndyce, a symbol for Victorian society's red tape and broken dreams. What makes Blee House stand out is its pace. Episodes end on cliffhangers, and the camera moves with modern urgency. It's dark, dazzling, and doesn't let you catch your breath. Beneath the grime and fog, there's heart, Esther Summerson's search for truth, and the kindness of unlikely heroes. In this world, justice isn't guaranteed, and every fortune can vanish in a heartbeat. North and South, 2004. Forget everything you think you know about Victorian romance. North and South is more than just swooning glances across the ballroom. The story plunges you into the cotton-filled air of Milton, where Margaret Hale moves from the countryside and collides with industrialist John Thornton. Richard Armitage's Thornton is as tough as iron, but it's the smoldering tension between him and Daniela Denby-Ash's Margaret that gives this series its pulse. Social unrest, worker strikes, and personal pride boil beneath the surface, making every conversation loaded with stakes. The series is relentless in its exploration of class, ambition, and what it means to truly belong. The infamous "look back at me" moment? Legendary. North and South is not just a love story, it's a battle cry for change and compassion, delivered with stunning emotional clarity. Great Expectations, 2011. Some classics demand to be reimagined, and the BBC's 2011 Great Expectations delivers with style. From the moment young Pip encounters the escaped convict in the marshes, you know you're in for a tale that pulls no punches. Gillian Anderson brings a chilling vulnerability to Miss Havisham, her world frozen in time and regret. Douglas Booth's Pip grows from frightened boy to conflicted young man, all under the shadow of ambition and heartbreak. This adaptation revels in the darkness and beauty of Dickens' world, highlighting both the cruelty and the hope that define Pip's journey. It's a visual feast, rich with candlelight, crumbling mansions, and the threat of shattered dreams at every turn. When the secrets unravel, and Pip must choose between illusion and reality, you're reminded that growing up in Victorian England was anything but simple. The Woman in White, 2018. Mystery, madness, and deception collide in The Woman in White, a masterclass in psychological suspense. Wilkie Collins' twisty plot gets a modern pulse in this BBC adaptation, where secrets are currency and danger is never far behind. Jessie Buckley's Marion Halcombe is all grit and intelligence, pitted against the sinister Count Fosco, who oozes charm and menace. The production drips with atmosphere, moonlit roads, shadowy corridors, and that iconic figure in white haunting the countryside. Every episode tightens the screws, leaving you desperate for the next revelation. It's not just about the mystery, though. It's about trust, betrayal, and the fierce bond between sisters. The Woman in White is proof that Victorian thrillers can still set your nerves on edge. Tess of the D'Urbervilles, 2008. Few stories land with the emotional force of Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and the BBC adaptation never flinches from its heartbreak. Gemma Arterton's portrayal of Tess is unforgettable, her innocence and quiet hope shining even as every turn of fate and every judgment from society pushes her further into hardship. The Dorset countryside is both breathtaking and ominous, framing Tess's journey with beauty and danger. This isn't simply a romance. It's a powerful look at class, reputation, and the harsh realities facing young women in Victorian England. Hans Matheson adds depth as Angel Clare, but it's Tess's resilience, dignity, and refusal to be defeated that linger after the credits. The production avoids melodrama, allowing each emotional moment to feel earned and deeply affecting. Tess's story is not just about suffering, it's about endurance and the quiet strength that emerges when the world refuses to show mercy. More than a symbol, Tess is a survivor, and her struggle remains unforgettable. Daniel Deronda, 2002. BBC's Daniel Deronda is more than just a showcase of stunning costumes and lavish scenery. It's a thoughtful dive into identity, destiny, and the longing to truly belong. Adapted from George Eliot's ambitious final novel, the series blends romance with philosophical exploration, following Hugh Dancy's gentle yet searching Daniel as he is pulled between two dramatically different women, the haunted Gwendolen Harleth, portrayed with heartbreaking nuance by Romola Garai, and the enigmatic Mira. What sets this adaptation apart is its refusal to stay on the surface. Instead, it challenges each character to confront their deepest convictions, fears, and hopes. The story unfolds across grand English country estates and smoky Victorian London streets, exposing the tension between outward appearances and the need for inner purpose. Daniel Deronda is not just about love or family, it's about the courage it takes to find one's own path in a society obsessed with lineage and status. Intelligent and emotionally stirring, it's an adaptation that lingers in your mind long after the final scene. Little Dorret, 2008. With Little Dorret, the BBC outdid itself, transforming Dickens's sprawling, intricate novel into a gripping serial packed with heart and suspense. Claire Foy shines as Amy Dorret, the quiet strength at the center of London's chaos. This is a world where prisons are both literal and metaphorical, where secrets fester in the shadows, and where kindness can break through even the hardest walls. The supporting cast is stacked. Tom Courtenay, Andy Serkis, and Matthew Macfadyen bring Dickens' world to vibrant life. Each episode peels back another layer, revealing the rot at the heart of Victorian society. It's more than just social critique. It's about hope, endurance, and the possibility of redemption. Little Dorret is Dickens at his most urgent, and the BBC delivers every ounce of drama. David Copperfield, 1999. Few adaptations radiate as much warmth and spirit as the BBC's David Copperfield. With a young Daniel Radcliffe portraying David, this version masterfully balances the hardships and joys that define Dickens's most personal tale. The cast is a dream. Bob Hoskins is unforgettable as the ever-hopeful Mr. Micawber, while Maggie Smith brings grit and charm to Betsy Trotwood. The pacing keeps you invested, shifting seamlessly from the darkness of orphanages to the bright promise of new beginnings. What truly sets this series apart is its unwavering focus on resilience and hope. No matter how many setbacks life throws at David, the story insists on the power to rise again and again. The journey from childhood innocence to hard-earned wisdom is told with humor, heartache, and genuine optimism. David Copperfield becomes more than just one boy's story. It's a universal celebration of endurance, kindness, and the belief that every struggle can lead to something better. This adaptation is Dickens at his most uplifting. Wives and Daughters, 1999. Elizabeth Gaskell's final masterpiece gets a rich, affectionate treatment in Wives and Daughters. The BBC crafts a world of gossip, ambition, and longing where every teacup holds a secret. Justine Wattle's Molly Gibson is endlessly sympathetic, caught between family expectations and her own dreams. The series delights in the small details, whispered confidences, awkward dinner parties, moments of unspoken tenderness. Michael Gambon as Squire Hamley brings both bluster and warmth. But it's the exploration of change, social, personal, and generational, that gives this adaptation its power. Wives and Daughters is less about grand gestures and more about the quiet revolutions that shape a life. If you crave emotional intelligence wrapped in period charm, this is your next binge. Middlemarch, 1994. No list of Victorian dramas is complete without Middlemarch, BBC's sweeping miniseries that captures the soul of a town on the edge of change. Adapted from George Eliot's classic, the series weaves together the ambitions, loves, and heartbreaks of characters like Dorothea Brooke and Dr. Lydgate. Juliet Aubrey gives Dorothea a luminous idealism, pursuing dreams in a society that prefers conformity over courage. The production is a masterclass in adaptation, skillfully balancing political intrigue, personal longing, and the struggles of progress. Every storyline, from grand reforms to private betrayals, feels urgent and real, each choice echoing with consequence. Middlemarch stands as both a heartfelt tribute and a cautionary tale, reminding us that beneath the surface of Victorian respectability were deep passions, ambitions, and disappointments. The series is a reminder that the search for meaning and fulfillment is timeless, making Middlemarch not just a period piece, but a story that still speaks powerfully today. There you have it, the 11 BBC Victorian dramas that prove the classics never fade. Each one opens a world of ambition, heartbreak, and hope, brought to life by unforgettable storytelling. Which of these timeless gems will you revisit first? Did your favorite make the list, or is there a hidden treasure you'd add? Share your thoughts below, subscribe for more cinematic journeys, and spread the word to fellow drama lovers. Some stories demand to be experienced. Are you ready to dive in?